Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Lawrence Michael, Operations Manager for Air Quality Remediation, making another video. It's the end of day 3 at our annual Asbestos Supervisor Training course. Today was a little bit of classroom work, just like day 1 and 2. However, some of the day was put towards demo and actually field work. So we established a decontamination unit. This is a 3-stage decontamination unit per Delaware and Pennsylvania's asbestos standard. New York has a 5-stage, but this is a 3-stage because our work consists of Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey is a little different too. But so we can see here we have our 3-stage decontamination unit. Tomorrow we're going to finish the unit and then build an actual containment area. We see on the wall here we already isolated our criticals, which are critical barriers, so 2 layers of poly with duct tape, any opening, receptacles, outlet covers, and tomorrow, like I said, when we finish, we'll have our actual containment built, which will be pretty cool. We can show you this manometer on the wall, which measures how much negative air pressure we have inside the space, so that'll be pretty cool when we make that video at the end of the day tomorrow. We can take a look inside the decontamination unit because there's a couple things that aren't done yet that we can show. So on the outside, we have our warning signage, just like we do for all the jobs that we do. They have an arrow taped on to show which side the flap you go in. This is called a Z flap. Essentially, it's 3 layers of poly going back and forth, left side opening, right side opening, left side opening, so that you have 3 layers of poly to go into. They call it a Z flap because looks like a Z. So walk in the first layer, second layer, and third layer. The key is to make sure you close these Z flaps when you walk back through so that they stay contained. All the walls, ceiling, and floors get 2 layers of poly. It's floor layer of poly, wall layer of poly, floor layer of poly, wall layer of poly, so 2 and 2 going back and forth, so that way there's an overlap. Different states have different regulations on how much overlap you actually need between the first and second layers, and how much overlap you need between the walls, the floor, and the ceiling. So we won't get into that because they're all a little different. In this room, we still have to cover a little bit of this wood showing at the top. These are just 2x4 framing, so that way we can build the decontamination unit off of it. But any wood that's exposed, that's not contained, it has to be thrown away when the job's done. So to avoid that, you cover it up with poly and duct tape, and then it's not contaminated, you can keep it. So you can see this wood still has to be covered up. The walls both have 2 layers, the floor has 2 layers, and the ceiling has 2 layers, so that's about it for this room. We have our decontamination shower in the second chamber of this 3-chamber setup. We have to hook some hot and cold water lines to that. We have to hook a water filter at the bottom for all the water that goes through it. So that'll be tomorrow. We also need to set up another Z flap here. You need a Z flap between all 3 layers, and then of course where you go into the decontamination unit. So it's actually 4 different Z flap layers that isolate each individual area of the decontamination unit, and then of course the containment that you're working in. So we'll go through the shower. Oh, the water's so nice and warm today. No, it's not. It never is. So we go through our Z flap. Again, closing all the doors behind us, so that way it doesn't get contaminated. So we have our dirty room, or equipment room, which is the very first chamber we went into. Then we went into the shower chamber, which is the second chamber. And then now we're in the clean chamber. So the way it should work is you have your containment, you have your PP on, so your full Tyvek suit, your respirator, nitrile gloves, Kevlar gloves, all the necessary PP that you're required to have. You go into the dirty chamber, which is still a contaminated area. Go into your shower chamber, which then you can remove your contaminated suit, your respirator, shower off, clean up, and then go into the clean chamber, which is still a clean, uncontaminated area. And then you walk outside into, normal world. So that's how we eliminate any contamination outside the work area. Again, we have some arrows set up showing where the flap is and where to grab when we're going out. Everything looked okay in this chamber, so there's not much left to do. We'll go outside here because it's warm in this containment. Again, closing all the flaps on our way out. And again, more warning signage as we go out. So other than that, that's about it. So tomorrow we'll finish the decontamination unit. We'll finish the actual containment area, the mock-up containment area. And we got to put some plexiglass viewing windows in. They have to be at eye level. They have to be 18 inches by 18 inch plexiglass viewing windows so people can look in from the outside and see what's going on without actually physically entering into the containment area or the decontamination unit. So I will show you guys that at the end of the day tomorrow. And then Friday is test and kind of review. So it's been a long week, but we're getting there. And then, of course, we have lead classes after that, NAD classes after that, which are National Air Duct Cleaning Association. So the indoor air quality field that we're in, there's a lot of different aspects to it. There's a whole lot of training, a whole lot of certifications that you have to go through. But it allows us to do all types of indoor air quality issues in these 4 states. So if anybody has any indoor air quality issues, mold, lead, asbestos, duct cleaning, air conditioning unit, water and fire damage, definitely give us a call. We're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So as always, I appreciate everybody watching. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions, definitely check us out on all of our other social media platforms and our website. And we look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Take it easy.